Oh God, why are we talking about Kim Kardashian? Why the hell are we talking about Kim Kardashian? Well, honestly, guys, I feel kind of obligated to talk about this for the simple reason that the other week on Crystal Kyle and Friends, we were talking about Kim Kardashian and Kanye West and how he's acting erratic, etc., etc. I made a comment that was, who dislikes Kim nowadays? Because, you know, what's she been doing recently? Like getting her law degree and trying to get Alice Johnson out of prison, which she succeeded in doing, by the way. So I was like, who the hell hates Kim Kardashian? That's so 5 years ago. That's so 10 years ago. Well, it turns out I immediately shoved my foot directly in my mouth because there is reason to still hate her. There is reason to still dislike her, and she went out there and proved it. It's like she made this comment going out there and saying, how can I make Kyle Kulinski look like a douche? I know, let me say something really stupid and elitist and make everybody turn on me instantly again. So here we are. Business Insider says, Kim Kardashian says, quote, it seems like nobody wants to work these days after sharing advice for women in business. Kim Kardashian said that her best piece of advice for women in business was to get your fucking ass up and work. The reality TV famous sisters, Kim, Khloe, and Kourtney Kardashian, and Kendall and Kylie Jenner, all have personal businesses of their own, ranging from Kim's Skims loungewear to Kourtney's Poosh lifestyle brand to Kylie Cosmetics. That's in addition to the family brand crafted by momager Kris Jenner. That word shouldn't exist, so launch it into the sun immediately. In a new interview with Variety published Wednesday, Kim, Khloe, Kourtney, and Kris spoke about their businesses and shared advice for other women in business. Quote, it seems like nobody wants to work these days, Kim said. You have to surround yourself with people that want to work. Have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do because you have one life, no toxic work environments, and show up and do the work. Okay. Kim, that's the problem. You see how she put the qualifier there? Like, you have to have a good work environment where everyone loves what they do because you have one life, so no toxic work environments. Kim, there was a poll that came out years ago we talked about on Crystal Kyle and Friends. I'm blanking on the exact number, but roughly like 18% or 20% of people feel, quote, engaged at work, which means that 80% of people do not feel engaged at work, which by extension sort of means I don't really like my job. I just sort of do it because I have to do it. And so when 80% of people are unhappy doing the job that they're doing, that is a toxic work environment. It is by definition toxic. You're spending most of your waking hours doing something you don't want to do. And by the way, even given that fact, the overwhelming majority of people, when they're at work, what do? They do everything that they need to do to get by and pay the bills, put food on the table, keep the lights on, pay the water bill, take care of the kids. And so most people hate their job, but then they also work hard because they don't want to get fired. And so the plebs are out there really struggling to get by, really not getting compensated adequately for their work. And along comes Miss, I don't even know if she's a billionaire yet, but at least multi-hundred millionaire to tell people, like, you know what, you're just lazy. You just got to work harder. The reason why this is so frustrating is because it shows that Kim Kardashian, even at this age of her life, she thinks we sort of live in a meritocracy. So that means the harder you work, the further you go. If you're not making it, it's on you. It's a personal moral failing on your part. And that is flat out not true. I've told this story before, but the hardest working guy I know in my entire life lived like at or below the poverty line. He worked like 2 or 3 jobs. His name was Kevin. Such a hard worker. Never got adequately compensated for it. You know, and this strikes me as just disrespectful to people struggling to get by. And don't give me this nonsense like, well, just quit and find a job that you love. Is it really that simple? Is that how it works? No, because the economy is very exploitative. You just have the owners want to extract the surplus value from you. That's it. That's what it is. And a lot of people don't have the current financial situation to be able to take a risk to do the thing they quote unquote love. So let's continue here. Khloe said that success is tied to pursuing what you're actually passionate about, saying that success doesn't come easy. Quote, if you're the smartest person in that room, you got to go to another room, Khloe said. I want to be around really successful people because that's going to drive me to be successful. A lot of people get intimidated to be in a room full of smart thinkers, wealthy people, whatever it is. I want to be in that room. Kim and her siblings have fielded criticism in the past when they've been described as having self-made wealth, as Kylie famously was in a 2018 Forbes list. In a 2018 interview with Refinery 29, Kim pushed back on the criticism of Kylie's self-made designation. Quote, I really didn't get it because she is self-made. We're all self-made, Kim said. What, because we come from a family that has had success? Yes! Yes, Kim. To me, that doesn't really make sense. I know so many people like that. who haven't turned out to be as successful as Kyle. No. If you start with every advantage in the world, if you start from a phenomenally privileged position in terms of wealth, well, that's by definition, that's not self-made. Now, I'm not knocking her work ethic. I'm sure she works hard. But don't pretend like if you're a kid who's born in Compton or a kid who's born in Appalachia that, you know, you could have the same vision as Kim Kardashian and never get it off the ground because you don't have a giant safety net to fall back on. So, I mean, she poses it. She's like, what? Because we come from a family that's wealthy and successful, therefore we're not self-made? Yes! Yes, Kim. That's exactly what it is. That's not a shot on you. It's just an objective description of what is. It's just saying, obviously, Mitt Romney's kids have a much better chance than somebody born to a single mom in Harlem. I mean, that's just, it's just a description. I'm not assigning a value judgment to it. You know, I'm sure everybody would like to be born in a situation where they're kind of privileged and come from a wealthy background. And most people would be able to do something with that if they have, you know, even a little bit of an ability to take advantage of the situation. So, man, just so out of touch. This is the definition of elitism. This is the definition of being out of touch. They say she preempted that kind of criticism as well in the family's new interview with Variety, pushing back on the notion that she's famous simply for her celebrity. Quote, who gives a fuck? We focus on the positive. We work our asses off. If that's what you think, then sorry. We just don't have the energy for that. So here's the deal. Look, she came from a wealthy and privileged background. She has, in turn, you know, done a lot of stuff with that. She didn't just coast on that completely and become a mess and become a drug addict and do whatever. No, she did capitalize on the privileged position that she was born into. I'm sure for what she does work hard, of course. But here's the issue. The issue is she thinks we already live in a meritocracy, so she thinks she made it to the top because of how wonderful she is, how great she is, and, you know, she's just a better person, effectively. That's what this smells like. That's what this feels like. And so I'm not coming to punish Kim Kardashian, but all I want to do is raise her taxes, raise the taxes of the billionaires and the corporations and the mega wealthy, and just take that money and give everybody else the same kind of chances that Kim had. You know, you're never going to get it perfectly on that level, of course, but if we tax the wealthy and we use that money to give people universal health care, universal education, including college, pre-K, paid vacation time by law, higher wages, if we had a right to a union, for example, if we paid maternity leave, paid paternity leave, paid vacation time, etc. I may have said that, I don't know. I'm sort of rambling here, but you get the point. If you set up a social democratic system where everybody has their basics met, well, then you are much closer to actually having some sort of a meritocracy. And we don't have that at all right now. We have 45,000 people that die because they don't have access to basic health care. We have 30 million people who don't have any health insurance whatsoever. We have 80% of people pre-pandemic that were still living paycheck to paycheck. So the economy is just wildly out of whack. The income and wealth inequality is preposterous. You know, billionaires made trillions of dollars more during the pandemic as everybody else stagnated. So that's what I want to tell Kim. It's like, we're not hating on you. We're not coming after you, although I wouldn't be mad if some people are genuinely say, yes, I am hating on Kim. Okay, fair enough. But all I'm saying is raise her taxes, use that money to give people a shot at life. And Kim needs to drop this elitist mindset that she made it because she's oh so wonderful and just so hardworking. The fact of the matter is, even though like 80% of Americans hate their jobs, they still work hard because they got to pay the bills, they got to keep the job, they got to take care of their kids, etc. And if anything, I have endless sympathy for people in that sort of a situation, whereas Kim has nothing but scorn for them because they didn't become as wealthy as Kim Kardashian, which is absurd. Ever since Adpocalypse, when YouTube defunded all independent news and politics overnight, we haven't trusted them. We know they can pull the rug out from underneath us at any time. If you enjoy this content, please consider tipping $1 or $2 per month on the Secular Talk Patreon. Link in the video description box below. Thanks for your support.